Is it recording now? Sorry, I'm not seeing. Looking. Okay. Hey, hey guys, welcome to our Sunday team call. We have a special guest speaker, so if you are on, lucky you to get all the full details and some awesome tips. Really quick, she is our Scenty sister. She is under group Make It Happen, and she's a I'm driving and trying to read my notes here. Sorry, you shouldn't do this. So, Nicole Shevokas is our guest speaker, and she's made director in 7 months. She earned a major incentive trip. She's been in Scenty for 6 years. She has earned a annual sales award each year, so that's awesome. She joined an annual mentor her first year, and she does the monthly sales award almost every month. So she is huge on sales, and if you have not noticed. A little bit personally about her, which I know she'll probably share her story a little, but she has a fiance who she's been dating for 18 years. I thought that was amazing. And she had dogs. And if you're not friends with her on Facebook, you need to find her. She is the sweetest person ever. I know that she's at work right now, doing with one of her passions. She loves animals. So thanks again, Nicole, for joining us and sharing your tips with us. So take it away.
All right. Thanks for that introduction, Lucy. Let me try to move my phone so it's a little closer. So, like Lucy said, I am a veterinarian. I joined Scenty 6 years ago, April 29th, 2010 to be exact.
She's at work. She's a
and I really, so let me tell you a little bit about my story. I learned about Scenty when a lady brought a warmer into the clinic where I work. So those warmer drops really do help and work. I had never heard of Scenty before that, but I really like the idea of it. I like the safety of it for kids and pets, and actually had never experienced it. She didn't plug in the warmer when she dropped it off. She just left it with us, and we didn't know what to do with it. We actually raffled it off and sent it home with one of the girls. And then a few months later, one of our office manager asked what happened to it and brought it back. But it was the month that the pause warmer came out, if you guys remember that, way back in the day. Probably was like February or something like that because I joined in April. But anyway, she apparently came in 6 different times. So another point about warmer drops: don't just drop something and never show up or expect people to just automatically call you, because that will not happen. You have to follow up. Becca Levi is always telling us follow up 5 to 8 times or something like that. So definitely do that. Amy V. Hill is my sponsor, and she came back, she said 6 times before I called her and decided to have a party. So I hosted a party. That was the first time. She brought testers and stuff, so we had smelled the testers, but I hadn't actually experienced a warmer. So she came over to my house and did a home party for me. And in vet school, I was having a lot of home parties. So I think I did like Pampered Chef parties and party light parties and stuff like that, but nothing really ever occurred to me to join. So I had the party. I invited everybody I knew, and I think I sold about $300 at the party. But there was a lot of people that didn't make it, so I followed up with all of those people after the party, and I got like $1,000 in outside orders. So my first party was like $1,300. So I knew it was easy, and most of that I did just by following up and asking. Like the people that said they were coming and didn't show up, I said, hey, did you want to look at a catalog or whatever? And so they bought that way. So follow-up is really important. And so for all those people with launch parties that kind of flop, it's not the end of the world. Just follow up with all the people that didn't make it, and you'll be surprised how well you will do. So anyway, I joined. My biggest question was what is the minimum? And it's 150 every 3 months. In 1 month, over a 3-month period. And I thought, okay, well, I could host my own party every 3 months and make a little money off my friends and support my new Scentsy habit. I also, at my party, Amy mentioned that it's easy to make $600 a month. If she would have said you have to sell $2,000 to make $600, I would have never probably joined. So, but that intrigued me. And we were just starting to remodel our house. And so, even being a veterinarian, my student loans were rolling in, and, money is always tight for most people. So, definitely, keep that in mind. Money is a good motivator, at least it is for me. So anyway, so I joined, and then I think I did get my 500 in by the end of the month. I joined April 29th, and I managed to get my 500 in before the end of the month. She did not flip the party. I joined after my party. So the party went to Amy, which is totally fine. And then after that, I started trying to book other parties. And I highly recommend, if you're not doing parties, do them. That to me is so much easier than trying to do outside sales. You could run all over town, tracking people down, spending a lot of gas and a lot of time to get the same amount as you can get in a 1 or 2 hour party, and your host does most of the work for you. Granted, you do have to host, coach, and things like that, but it's a good way to make a lot in a short amount of time. Which I'm all about that. I want to, kind of maximize our time. So do home parties. If you're not doing them, do them. Basket parties are also great. I'm always on the go. As you can see, I'm at work right now. I got called in today. I wasn't supposed to be on call this weekend, but I had to swap one of the other doctors. So here I am. And you just make it work. You do things around your schedule. What I'm supposed to talk about today is sales. So I knew it was easy to sell if you just got it under people's noses and you checked back with people. If they intend to buy, if they show interest and tell you that they're intending to buy, then they plan on buying. So it's not rude or bothersome or whatever to follow up and say, hey, were you ready to place that order or whatever. It's just a common courtesy. I don't know how many times I've intended to buy something from somebody, and it just slipped my mind, or I've been meaning to get a hold of her, and I never did, and then she never contacted me, so I never bought. So it's our job to follow up. So that's really important. Also, look through, especially new people. A lot of people are joining with the $49 join special. So make sure that you guys are watching for sorry, I'm getting distracted by the other stuff going on at work. So make sure that you're taking advantage of what Scentsy offers us. And that's really, I think, between that and the emails and calls I was getting from Becca Levi, or the Saturday calls, listening to those and this call, those are so, so important. And that's where you learn a lot of the stuff. But I remember getting my new consultant startup guide, and I was flipping through it. And I learned about that $2,000 for the extra 30%. And now that I knew I could sell, that wasn't so daunting. But had I learned that initially, that would have scared me off. So work on doing your $2,000 every month, because then you're going to get an automatic sales bonus. And that's an automatic $600 check. When Jessica and Lucy were asking me about some of my things statistic-wise, I kind of flipped through my workstation and I looked. I've been a consultant for 72 months. So I joined in April of 2010. And out of those 72 months, only 11 months I did not get 2,000 in sales. So my lifetime PRV is like $212,000. So that is a lot of income that, you know, you're leaving on the table if you're missing that extra 5%. So definitely work at doing that. So what do you have to do $2,000 a month? I say plan 6 things. So I don't care if it's home parties, basket parties, an event, Facebook parties, etc. Plan 6 things a month, because, you know, if you're doing your hostess coaching and things like that, your average event is going to be around $500. Some will be $200, some will be $700. You know, it kind of evens out. But if you do 6 things, 2 could cancel. You still have 4. If they all were $500, you have your $2,000. Plus, keep track of your old customers. Use Jessica's follow-up system, and keep track of your customers so that you are getting your own outside sales too. Every month, I probably submit 1 or 2 of my own parties just from outside sales, people that you know, I'm following up with or that randomly contact me, and always put those in as a party. Anytime one person calls me and they want a 6-pack of wax, I'm on a mission to collect enough, you know, another, $175 in orders so that I can make it a party, because I'm not going to leave host rewards on the table, and I'm not going to charge my customer shipping. So that puts me on a mission to be following up with those people. What else? So increasing sales. When you are collecting orders, ask them, hey, did you need anything for your car? Even if you sold 1 scent circle with every order that you collect, that will add up over time. So, you know, not only that, but we have car bars, we have room sprays. You know, think of something different that they haven't ordered that you can offer them, because there's so much in our amazing catalog that you know, can share with them that maybe they didn't think of that they're going to love. And definitely, you know, take advantage of sort of upselling. Light bulbs, $2 a piece, 3 for $5. You know, that's an extra, you know, PRV every time that you place an order. And then not only that, but when somebody calls you to order, try to get them to book a party. Hey, would you like to take a catalog to work and see if anybody else needs anything? Worst case scenario, they still place their order. Best case scenario, they give you 1 or 2 extra orders, and maybe they give you a $500 party. You'd never know. But if you're not asking, it's not going to happen. You're going to settle for that $25 or $50 order, and that's it. But if you ask them to host a party, and sometimes don't say the word party, because sometimes that freaks people out. But, you know, just like I said, do you want to take a catalog to work? Do you want to invite a few friends over and I can bring the scents and we can all hang out and smell? And you know, if you get enough orders, then this order could be free. And, you know, take advantage of the host rewards and what Scentsy offers us as incentive to get people to host for us. Because I never want to pay full price for Scentsy. Don't make your customers do it either. So kind of going back to my story, sorry, I'm like jumping around here. Like I said, only 11 months did I not sell over 2,000, because, so I joined April. By the end of April, I put in $500. So I made my kit costs back. So that was a $100 check. The next month, I think I did like $1,200, and that I hosted 1 home party. One of the ladies that came to my party booked a party, and I had her home party, and then I got some outside sales, and I got $1,200. I think my check that month was like $300. And this is all PRV. And I know we're not supposed to talk about what we make, but you guys can calculate this in your heads. So I'm just doing the math for you. I'm not really telling you what I make. So then my 3rd month, I sold like $3,200, and my check was $900. So, and that was just, I think that was June. I think I had 6 parties. I was really wanting to earn the Sensational Start Level 3. So that's another thing. Like I was talking about the Scentsy goals. So work on your shooting star. Once you get that, work on getting certified. Once you get that, work on your Sensational Start Awards. And I am all about the free product. So I wanted free and half price Scentsy. And when I saw the Sensational Start Awards, I wanted $200 in free product. And to do that, you have to sell $500 in your first 70 days, $5,000 in your first 70 days. So I worked really hard to do that. So since I had just had my party before I joined, I didn't do a launch party after I joined. I waited until right before my 70 days, and that's when I did my launch party. So, but like I said, in June, I had 6 parties and sold over $3,000, and my check was $900. Well, by then I was hooked. I liked the income I was making. I pay $900 in student loans every month. So I thought, okay, if I could pay for my student loans with my new Scentsy business, this thing that started out as a hobby, then I can have more of my regular income freed up for other stuff. And so from then on, I started working it like a business. And when I was looking through the consultant startup guide in the very beginning, I saw the annual sales award, annual mentor award, and I kind of just flipped through. I'm like, never going to do that, right? That's $30,000. You get, that's crazy. No freaking way. But my first year, I earned the annual sales award. And what is the annual sales award? It's $2,500 a month. So if you plan on doing your $2,000 every month, plus you do more at Christmas. I think my first November, I think I did like almost $6,000, like 5,700 or something like that. So that made up for the other months that I didn't get to 2,500. But if you make a goal of $2,500 a month, you're going to make the annual sales award. And that's $1,000 bonus. Plus, you get that 5% extra every single month. So you're making 30% off your commission pretty much all the time. So definitely work on doing your $2,000 a month. It's totally worth it for your paycheck. And I got used to that 600 plus a month. And so I get really bummed out when I don't make that, because, you know, you get used to your income and you spend what you make. So, just, you know, really strive for that, because you never know what you can do. And like I said, I didn't even believe I could do it initially, but I did. So that year I also did the annual mentor award, and it was different. Then you had to do like 20 recruits that became active. But I've earned the annual mentor award every year since I joined, and I've also earned the main incentive trip every time. So I figure if I can make $600 plus a month, plus earn a free vacation every single year, it's totally worth this business, and I'm going to keep doing it alongside my regular full-time job. So you have to think outside the box and, you know, work around your schedule. I know we are all busy people, but you know, sort of statistics show that busy people do better than non-busy people, because we're better at multitasking. We run into a lot of people on a regular basis, so those are the type of people that you want to recruit. And you know, so just keep that in mind, and make sure that you're being intentional and you're focusing on income producing activities. So what are income producing activities? Things that are going to get you sales, things that are going to get you bookings, and things that are going to get you recruits. So with this $49 join special, we should be asking everybody. We should be asking everybody all the time. But today I had a little rude awakening. I was surfing on Facebook, and I saw one of my customers had joined Scentsy. And guess what? She didn't join under me. And she joined under her sister, who has been a host of mine, and in the past had planned on joining under me, but apparently was talking to another friend and she joined under her. So, but shame on me for not calling her as soon as the $49 deal came up and saying, hey, remember that time you wanted to join? Now is the time. It's only $49. So I missed out on 2 team members because wasn't sharing that opportunity with every single person. So make a point to be sharing with every single person. It doesn't matter, you know, if they have shown interest or not, because you never know what people are thinking. So be sharing with everybody. And the same goes with sales. You know, you love Scentsy, I love Scentsy. We all join this business for a reason, so we must believe in it. Why wouldn't we share, you know, our products with other people? So get the scents under people's noses, book parties, and turn orders into parties and parties into recruits, and make sure that you are sharing other items from the catalog with them. Maybe send a sample of something they haven't gotten before, or talk about the room sprays and how amazing they are, and those kinds of things. So I don't know, Jessica and Lucy, is there anything else that you can think of that you wanted me to touch on, or I think that's
a quick question before anybody else chimes in really quick, because I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you're at work, but okay, so tell us really quick, because I just think it's fascinating to me. I know, okay, what was it? I don't know if it was this past year or the year before. I know you were you had a big goal within so many months before it was, the Scentsy year, to earn your annual sales. And I was like, wow, that was amazing. So tell them a little bit of what that goal was when you realized how much in sales you needed. And I know that you're really big on, with almost every order you get, you try to flip it into a party. Maybe one or two things, how do you tell them that, if they call you and they have a $55 order or whatever, what is the way that you would try to in speaking terms, to tell them, let's try to have a party instead of just placing the $55 order?
So okay, so I'll answer your first question first. So it was the year before last. I think our mentor and sales award run from May 1st to April 31st. So I think it was February, because I had 2 months, and I looked at my numbers and I was 10 grand away from earning the annual sales award. And, I'd earned it the other years that I'd been in Scentsy, and I was just slacking apparently, and I hadn't got my sales in. And, I looked at it, and 10 grand is a long ways away, but I thought, what have I got to lose? If I sit here and do nothing, I'm not going to get it. If I try and I don't get it, I'm going to increase my income anyway. And if I do get it, then hey, I did it, So I made a goal, and I just started contacting everybody. And I don't even remember how many parties, but my main goal was to book parties because I knew that was going to be the best way. So I contacted everybody I could possibly think of to host a party. And I did it. I sold 10 grand in 2 months. And I think I'd have to look back at the numbers, but I think it was less than 5 grand in the first month. And so I was behind on what I wanted, you know what I mean? But I still pulled it off in the end. So believe in yourself, because you never know what you can accomplish. And if you fail, at least you're failing forward. If I made 8 grand, what's 30% of 8 grand? You know what I mean? That's an amazing paycheck for 2 months. So what have you got to lose? You know what I mean? Just do it. And then your other question, my brain is freezing. Oh, how do I flip sales into parties? So Sally Sue calls me or texts me or whatever, and she has a $55 order. I could, just something simple. Hey, do you want to take a catalog to work and maybe get your order for free or half price if anybody else wants anything? And I always figure if she brings me back one order, I'm still better off than I was if she didn't, you know what I mean? That's 2 orders instead of 1. So a lot of times those little things may not turn into a $200 party, but you're going to get more sales anyway. And then also what I've been really trying to be intentional about lately is recruiting, because I'm not always as good about recruiting as I am with sales. So, say somebody messages you on Facebook and, hey, I saw XYZ on your page and, I want to order whatever. So I'll just say, okay, well, it would be XYZ amount with tax. I have a party going in such and such date. I can put it on that party. Or you could host a party and get it for free or half price. Or it's only $50 to join this month, so you may as well join since you're going to spend $50 and then just buy from yourself. So, it doesn't have to be fancy, just however it comes out, you know what I mean? And then, if they turn in that say they took the catalogs to work and they bring you back a $200 order. Oh my gosh, Sally, you just did amazing. Are you sure you don't want to join? We can make this your first party. So, just think about it. And I was watching some, I hope you guys are all on those aha moment groups or discover your aha moments. I was watching, I will turn one on when I'm driving because I commute like 20 minutes back and forth to work. So I turn one on and then just lay my phone down so I don't watch the video while I'm driving and just listen. But one lady was saying that, you have to think about recruiting all the time or sales all the time, because if you don't, then your brain doesn't take you there. You know what I mean? So everything that we do should be trying to lead to new team members, essentially. And sales are a great way to do that, because some people are just happy with buying. But if they're interested in joining, then you need to give them that opportunity. Otherwise, they'll join some other person that they knew back in high school, like happened to me today. So, what is Becca always saying? Like 150,000 people join a direct sales business every day. Why not join Scentsy, and why not join your team? They're going to join somebody, whether it's Pampered Chef or Tupperware or Rodan and Fields or whatever. Share the opportunity with them so that they join your team. And if they don't join your team, they're going to join somebody else's. And so we have to be, intentional about thinking about that all the time. Otherwise, we miss those opportunities.
Love it. Thank you so much. Does anybody have any, I don't want to keep going too long, but does anybody have any questions? Lucy, you will have to unmute yourself. Or Lucy, do you have anything else?
Well, this is Carrie, you guys. Somebody keeps muting me. Hey, Nicole, thanks for getting on our call. Whoop, whoop.
You're welcome.
Jessica asked the exact thing I was going to ask you to share, which is how you pulled the rabbit out the hat that month. But I hope that you guys got from Nicole the fact that she looked at something and she focused on what she could do instead of what she couldn't do. And she rocks it from there. And like she said, even if she didn't hit her mark, which she did, and she does every time, she would have been in a better position. And I think so many times that we look at things and we just say, oh, we're not going to make it, so we don't even try. So I hope that she's inspired you to realize that just go for it. Because, the worst thing that can happen is that you have more income than you would have had you not done anything. So thanks for sharing, and thanks for being a rock star, girl.
You're so welcome. Thanks, Carrie. I'm glad you came on. I heard you were hiking.
Yes, I've been on the whole time. So I lost you a couple times, but I've been on.
Nice.
I'm gonna again, and somebody else can go in a minute, but I just want to highlight like things that stood out to me. And I know when Nicole started, not everybody was on. There was more people now, but I think one of the biggest things that I'm gonna utilize myself is, even though we all try, right? But I say I want to hit $2,000 every month, but then I don't keep that up. So I like that she said plan 6 things a month, because that is something that you can for sure go and do and actually do and say, this is the 6th. I love that she said you must know about the annual awards to even hit them. So for all the newbies that have joined us this month, because we have had several, I really hope that you're taking the time to open your starter guide, and that you're reading those awards, because that is the same way. There's absolutely no way I would have earned annual mentor award if I wouldn't have never opened my starter guide and read it and knew that that was even a possibility. I love that she says, did y'all hear that? She didn't have a launch party in the beginning because she had already had just recently with the consultant that she had the party with, had already turned in a like $1,300 order. So you can always have a launch party. It's not just because you didn't have one when you first started. If you're trying to reignite your business, go and do one now. We're the first month of a new catalog season. I think the last one is just be intentional. It's so funny that I just came back from Star Director Summit, and we were talking and someone said, well, what made you all of a sudden start doing parties? because my first 5 years, I never did parties up until I just left my full-time job in February. And I've had more parties this year home parties than I ever have. I could count on one hand my first 5 years, the number of parties that I had. But when I became intentional on asking for the home parties, I started getting them. Because before I was so scared, or like, I'm going to say scared because that's what it was. Like, I don't want to do home parties. I geared away from them. And I would say, well, you know what? We can have a basket party. I can take you the basket. If you don't want to have a home party, I didn't even give them the option to have a home party. I just kind of discounted it from the get-go. So I think when you're more intentional about what you want, you get it. So that is my little highlights on what it was a great call. Does anybody else have anything else that they want to ask Nicole? You will have to unmute yourself, guys. He's a rock star seller, boy. I want to be like Nicole.
Let me tell you.
Are there any questions? Go ahead.
Just a little side note here. It's so important to be a well-rounded consultant. And sometimes I get so focused on sales and making my numbers that I don't focus on recruiting as much as I can or should. And I will tell you that I've been a director. Well, I joined Scentsy, like I said, 6 years ago, and but I've been demoted to superstar consultant. I'm about to make my director numbers again, but I've been superstar consultant for, I think, like since March or something like that. I can't remember exactly, and my team is down to like 40, whereas, it's been, now it's not, it's like at 51 again, but if we don't recruit, our team doesn't recruit. And if we don't make that a part of our regular business, then, we don't stay where we are. And, I look at some of my colleagues like Jessica and Jessica Markowitz and Edie Pelletier and people like that are star director. And here I'm sitting at superstar consultant, and I have over 200 and whatever, lifetime PRV, and I've made a pretty decent income, what some people would consider a full-time income that I make part-time through Scentsy, but it's so heavy on sales sometimes, and that's a lot of my focus, that I sometimes not fail at recruiting, but I haven't been as focused on it as I should be. And it's so important to be well-rounded. So have parties, do basket parties, make sales, and sponsor new people. Because if you don't, then your whole business suffers. So it's so important to be well-rounded. So don't look at me and be like, oh my gosh, I have to do sales, and shoot, I hear some people on the Saturday calls that, they make, they're selling at $6,000 every month. So, sometimes I feel inadequate to that, but, don't compare yourself to other people, but focus on being well-rounded and try for that, 2-year plan that Becca and Callie are always telling us about, where you're doing your $2,000 a month, you're having one home party or event a week, and you are sponsoring 2 to 3 people a month. And you do that, and you stay consistent, and you train your team to do that, then you're going to do well, and you'll be sitting at star director and superstar director before you know it.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Nicole. Anybody else have any questions? Or we can let Nicole get back to work.
So I have another question to make before anybody asks this question. So I wasn't supposed to work this weekend. Like I said, I swapped with somebody because they needed this weekend off. But I had 2 Facebook parties booked at 6 and 6:30 today. So thank God for Post My Party, but sometimes you just have to make things work how it works.
Gotcha. Well,
here we are.
Anybody else? I think somebody was talking.
But that's another drive that she made sure she made it happen instead of making an excuse. So Nicole, again, thanks for sharing those nuggets.
Anybody else? I think Lucy got up. Or Lucy.
I just want to say thank you, Nicole. Like, awesome. I love the last tip that you add on about, being focused all around on our business, not just the sales, focusing on sales, but, also growing your team. Thanks for sharing that, because that could be a big eye opener for many people on the call. You know, just the fact that if you don't meet your numbers, or if you're a director, you know, you go back down until you meet your numbers again. But it's that to keep on your, and you know, just there's never a full balance of working your business or having enough, you know, sales. But just to always remember that, stay focused on recruiting as you do. Just have your monthly goals, as we always tell you guys at the beginning of the month, you know, to do your goals for that month. So thanks again for joining, and yes, thanks again for being an excuse buster and sharing that you just had 2 Facebook parties, being at work, and you're a superwoman. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I was just trying to look on and give you guys the number. I did a call. That was another thing that kept me motivated when I was trying to reach my 10 grand in 2 months. I had messaged Callie, and I was like, okay, I need a cheerleader for this, because if this is going to happen, you know, it's going to be hard. But so she was rooting me on, and she had told me that, you know, she wanted me to be on a Saturday call. And so I kept thinking to myself, I can't do that call if I didn't make it. It's going to sound really sad if I didn't make it. So it's just funny, the simple things that motivate us. But anyway, so if you listen to the Saturday calls that Becca and Callie put on, you can dial the recorded number, and the reference code is 206, and that was right after I did my 10 grand in 2 months. So I, you know, kind of share a little more detail, because it's been like a year and a half or something, or almost 2 years since I did that. So and that's another little tip. And definitely get on those aha moments videos. I'm like floored every day by some of the stuff I'm getting out of them. So I just appreciate those so much. And I will be happy to report I sponsored 3 people last month, and so far 2 people this month. So yay.
Kitty girl.
All righty. Anybody else? Question, comment? Y'all quiet today. All righty. Well, Carrie, you want to take us out, or are you still cutting in and out?
I'm here. I could take us out. Well, first of all, again, thank you, Nicole, for getting on. And I think I'm going to have Becca give us a power takeout. So let Becca just give us something that'll just give us a nugget to keep us going. So hang on one second, guys. I think. Say something else. Can I hear you?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be talking to you guys. I am so impressed with the program that Carrie and Jessica and Nicole and everybody is providing, and the fact that you guys are masterminding together is really what it's all about, staying connected, and then just listening to people like, you know, and what Nicole's saying tonight. She's always such an inspiration to me. And just remember that if one person can do it, then you can do it. There's nothing different between you and the person who does it, except for they have the desire and the willingness to get out there when they didn't want to learn and train and keep themselves kept up. And I just like to see all of you join me one year at Superstar Director Summit, and so we can shout and clap and have you enjoy all these fun, great times. So thanks for being part of what makes Group Make It Happen so strong. And I love you all. And here's Miss Carrie.
All right, guys. So there we have it. So go out there and make it happen. And again, Nicole, thanks for sharing with us tonight. And you guys, let's go out, take the second half of the month, and go out with a bang. We love you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks, Nicole.
Thank you, guys.